away from the national polls. And this does have a direct impact on the way we do business in Uganda, simply because we rely so much on the Kenyan port.
And guess what, Shamim? Not just us, but even other countries like Eastern DR Congo and then the South Sudan. Of course, not to mention Rwanda and Burundi. But the key thing to the business person watching us today is that this is going to toughen the terrain for business because we already live in an environment of fairly low demand. What does it mean for a person who actually wants to stay in the business game? It means you need to be more structured. You can no longer do business by default.
Welcome to Money and Markets.
Well, there's been a lively discussion about Uganda's economic status. And here we're seeing one party maintaining that we've arrived at a certain position and another maintaining that we haven't.
So the government of Uganda actually confirms that we have hit the middle income status. And the multinationals saying, no, we actually haven't. So tonight, we dive into this conversation to interrogate what tools are used to come to this conclusion.
His Excellency the President, during the State of Nation address held on 7th June 2020, announced that Uganda's GDP, that is gross domestic product per capita for financial year 2021-22 had risen to $1,046, and thus the country had crossed the threshold for the lower middle income status. On 1st July 2022, the World Bank Group released its economic update for financial year 2020-2021, indicating that Uganda's gross national income, GNI, per capita for the financial year 2020-21 was $840. This created confusion among the general public. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics held a meeting with officials from the World Bank, Uganda country team, government, and members of the academia on Monday, the 4th July 2022. The meeting noted that the differences arose mainly from the following three factors related to the national accounts aggregates, population figures, and sources of data and reference period used. We would therefore like to clarify as follows. Number one, the estimates for GNI per capita, which is the GDP adjusted for net primary income, released by the World Bank, are consistent with the government of Uganda estimates. Two, the reference periods in the two periods is different. Whereas the report by government of Uganda was based on the financial year 2021-22 official data, the one by the World Bank was based on the financial year 2020-21. So these are two different years. The government of Uganda report was based on financial year 2021-22 that ended 30th June 2022. While the World Bank report was based on the financial year that ended 30th June 2021. Thus, the per capita income in the two periods refer to two different periods, the government of Uganda report being the most up to date. Number three, the World Bank used the UN population projections for Uganda for driving the GNI per capita. The UN media population projection for Uganda for financial year 2020-21, the reference period that the World Bank referred to is 47.1 million. However, the government of Uganda official population projection for the same period of financial year 2020-21 is 42.4 million, resulting in a difference of 4.7 million people. Number 4, the government of Uganda official estimates of the GDP per capita for financial year 2021-2022 is US dollar 1,046. The World Bank does not at this point have any projections for the GNI per capita for financial year 2021-22. The GNI per capita estimates released by the World Bank are for financial year 2020-21. The meeting further noted the following. A. Computations based on similar variables using the population projections by UBOS and the GNI by the World Bank did not show variations of statistical significance. In other words, had World Bank used the population projections of 42.4 million instead of 47.1, the estimates do not show significant variation. B, the threshold for transition from one level to another varies from year to year. For example, the set target per capita income by World Bank for 2021 is US dollar 1,035. For 2022, US dollar 1,046. And for 2023 is 1,085. So it is a moving target. Number 6, members agreed on the following. A, a meeting between the population experts from Uganda Bureau of Statistics and the UN country team be convened with immediate effect to harmonize the population projections and report back within 1 month.
Now, countries that have made great strides economically have had to pay special attention to the services sector. But in Uganda, Shamim, if you look closely, we have quite some ground to cover here.
Absolutely. Uganda is still known to be a good player in the export of agricultural products. And now we want to explore how we can participate in the exportation of services. And here's what you need to know.
Absolutely. It accounts for 50% of Uganda's GDP, underlying its importance in determining the country's economic fortunes. Experts, however, note that the country still has not done enough work to expand and fortify its growth.
When a country begins exporting a lot of services, then we are on our way to being successful. You look at all those countries that have done very well, and you look at their portfolio of exports. It is not mainly agriculture. And if it is agriculture, it is value added. And that value added agriculture will come from commercial farming, not subsistence farming.
Last financial year, Uganda managed to export services worth $1.22 billion, despite the presence of COVID, which affected global demand for goods and services. Today, experts are calling for both public and private sector players to keenly focus on growing the services for export portfolio, given its potential to turn around Uganda's fortunes.
Even when you're going to step out into the international market and try to offer the services on the international scene, they'll ask for experience. Do you know what you're doing? Have you done it before? And what were the results? What were the lessons? What were the take-homes? So the experience will do help quite a bit. So start wherever you're at. Do whatever you know how to do and do it well. And I agree with what was said earlier, do it in a trustworthy way. because your name, your reputation precedes you. Get those letters of reference from on a local scene, okay, that somebody will be able to say, yeah, I can easily refer, I can easily vouch for the services offered by this individual.
Uganda currently exports several services ranging from direct consultancies to handling customer care operations for companies abroad through business process outsourcing. To observers, giving this sector the requisite attention will complement agriculture and tourism in raking in more hard currency for the country.
We are getting many patients from outside Uganda who come here and receive medical services from our experts. And one of the examples is the Uganda Cancer Institute, we have the Uganda Heart Institute, MBN Labs. We get many clients from Rwanda, Kenya, Congo, and Burundi, mainly East Africa and other countries. When we get patients who come to Uganda to receive medical services, it is a form of export. And we are saying that if you have a surplus, actually some of that surplus is one which is among the doctors who have moved to Kenya. We have doctors in Rwanda, Zambia, Zimbabwe.
Today, Uganda runs trade deficits with most of its trading partners, and the reason experts are giving for this state of affairs is the weak export docket, calling for renewed effort to produce both goods and services for export.